Hello, mathematicians. Happy Wednesday. Let's go ahead and jump into our Unit 3, Lesson 8 skill lesson. We're going to get more practice here with evaluating expressions with substitution. First, what is substitution? The definition of substitution is to replace or change with something else. Specifically in math, how we are going to be using it is to replace the variable, which is a letter or symbol, in an expression with a number, with a value. If you'll remember, when we have variables, that means that the value is unknown, versus if we have a known value, we don't need a variable. So you can use substitution to pick a value when you have an unknown value, which is when you would use a variable. But again, just look at the definition on here that is the most simple, and that is to replace a variable with a number. So take a look at the example down here. You'll see that I have 4n plus 2 is my expression, and I'm being asked to substitute n with 2. So you'll see right here that I went and I took 2 and I plugged it in for n. So then I'm going to rewrite the expression with parentheses around the value that I substituted for the variable. I do that because it reminds me to substitute. Also, quick reminder, when you see a number and then a parentheses and then another number and then the closing of the parentheses, so basically a number next to a number that's separated by parentheses, that is the same thing as multiplication. So 4 times 2. And then you'll see that I just went ahead and followed order of operations and I solved. 4 times 2 is 8. Then I rewrote the rest of the problem that I had yet to evaluate. 8 plus 2 is equal to 10. So that is substitution. Please pause the video at any point to take notes, take a screenshot. This is important information. It's going to be key for you to solve. More practice. Rewrite each expression with substitution. Okay, first they want us to substitute 3 for b. So the way I'm going to rewrite it is I'm going to find wherever I see b in the expression, I'm going to substitute 3. In this case, we only see it one time. So we have 2 times 3 minus 1. And that is all we need to do when we're rewriting the expression. If asked us to evaluate, then we follow order of operations. And this is a typo right here. That should be not a Z either. Excuse my computer handwriting. That should be a 2. All right, S equals 4. So wherever I have S squared, oh, we definitely had some problems with loading it into annotate.net here. All right, so right here, S, remember when you see the caret, sometimes if you aren't able to use the exponent feature, like in PowerPoint, you'll see the caret. That means S squared plus 2. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I rewrite this just so we remember that the caret also means it is raised to a power. S squared minus 1 times 3. So I'm going to go ahead and do my substitution wherever I see an S. I'm going to use the parentheses to remind myself that I substituted a value. So I have 4 squared minus 1 times 3. And then I would follow order of operations to solve. Speaking of order of operations, quick review here. Remember, this is the order that we solve expressions. It goes groupings, parentheses or brackets, then exponents, which is when it is, you see the caret, or it's raised to a power, meaning the exponent is going to show up as smaller. Then the third is multiplication and division. You would solve that at the same time, left to right. And then the fourth is addition and subtraction. Again, you would solve that like you're reading a book, or however it appears, or in the order that it appears from left to right. Quick reminder, when you are working with a grouping within a grouping, you need to still follow order of operations. Let's do a model right here. This is from the homework. All right. Let's pick a different color for fun. All right, so order of operations when evaluating the expression. That's so key. So I'm going to use substitution. So I'm going to do what we went over in the first part of this video, do my substitution, and then evaluate following the order of operations. Okay, so if y equals 5, let's do my substitution first. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite the problem. Remember, this is the same thing as y squared. Let me see that caret. So I have 7 plus, we have 2, and then I have my y where I'm going to substitute 5. And then that is raised to the second power. Okay, now order of operations. I will underline what I'm doing in red and then show my work in orange. First thing I need to do is my exponents. So look, I have 5 raised to an exponent, right? I do whatever's inside my parentheses first. I just have a 5, so then I move to exponents as the next phase. So I'm going to go ahead, I'll just circle right here what I'm working on. So we have 7 plus 2 times 5 squared is 25. Remember, 5 squared exponents are repeated multiplications, so this is equal to, it's not 5 times 2, that's just regular multiplication. When it's repeated multiplication, the base is being multiplied by itself as many times as the exponent says. So in this case, we're only doing it twice. 5 times 5, which is equal to 25. All right, next up, and I realize I did just write that in red. We're going to go ahead and fix that. And remember, I leave the rest of the expression that I did not solve the same. Okay, so now I have 7 plus 2 times 25. After exponents comes multiplication, so I need to do 2 times 25. That's my next step. All right, 2 times 25 is equal to 50. So 7 plus 50. All right, the last thing that I have left is addition or subtraction. I do have an addition problem right there. So I'm going to circle what I'm working on. And 7 plus 50 is 57. And that's my answer. Now this is exactly how you should be showing your work as well. I just want to remind you to please, let's write this in a font we can see. Please show your work. It is so key If you don't show your work, you will not be getting credit for your assignment, even if you get the answer right. So I just wanted to emphasize that. That is both for myself and Mr. Losario's classes. All right, mathematicians, you've got this. Take your time. Good luck.